Hello and welcome back to Rock Tumbling Weekly. I'm Shannon and I love rocks and gemstones, everything about them. And Rock Tumbling Weekly is my weekly video journal documenting all of my rock tumbling projects. I have up to 9 barrels going at any given time, and so there's lots of variety in the types of rocks that I tumble. So I hope that everybody's doing well right now. I know there's a lot of change in the world and we're all undergoing situations that we may have never considered us having to do in our lifetimes. And I hope that you're doing well and that you're coping with your current situation well. And we're doing okay here. But we have a stay in place now in our county. And luckily, rock tumbling is something that I can do in place. So if you're at home, isolated with your family, you're looking for something new to do, then remember I do have an online Rock Tumbling 101 course, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. You can get supplies and rough through many sources right now. They're still working. You can get supplies, grit, tumblers, and rough from roughstone.rocks. You can get a huge variety of rough stones for tumbling through Gems by Mail, and they have lots of coupons, buy one, get one, and free shipping coupons. And also roughstone.rocks. They're the store that I got my Lapis from. They're doing a stay-at-home sale with the coupon code STAYATHOME20, 20% off orders over $100. You'll have to check their website for sure to verify, but I'll put links to all those places in the description box below. And so if you're sitting at home watching YouTube, looking for entertainment and educational value, then let's get started. Let's go look in my barrels. Here is the Lavic siding Jasper, and I know this looks odd because it's not rinsed, but I did notice that most of the grit in this barrel was not even used up this time, and that's really unusual. I'm not sure why, but I didn't want to waste it because there's a lot in there, and I know this will likely need another week in course, so I'm just going to add a little bit more course to this, put water and some more ceramic media in, and keep it going for another week. Here's the Smoky Quartz after about 2 weeks in course. And it's looking really nice. It's shaped well, but there are still parts that need some smoothing, and these cracks and crevices are too big for medium to work out. So this is definitely going to have to go back in course for at least another week, but it's looking really good. It's looking really close. And again, I just love the variety. We've got some that are really soft gray, some that are really dark, and it's really beautiful. I'm really enjoying this Smoky Quartz. So let me get this back in the barrel with some more coarse grit, and we'll see it again next week. The tree agate has been in course for several weeks. I'm not sure how many now, probably 3. And it's shaping really nicely. It's looking pretty good. Some of them are kind of pitted, so this is like the crazy lace agate, in which you may have to accept some pitting and it will just have a more natural look. But just make sure to wash your stones really well between cycles. But I do still want these to remain in course for a little bit longer, because I think they can get a little bit smoother before we move on to medium. But yeah, I'm really loving the patterns of the material in this tree agate. Really lovely. Ooh, here's a good one. Look at that. It really does remind me a little of the Crazy Lace agate, except with just the white and green colors right now. So, really lovely. All right, let me get this back in the barrel. We'll take a look at it again next week. This Girasol Opal has been in course for probably about 4 weeks, about a month, and it's looking like it's ready to go to medium. I'm so happy. One of these course batches is moving forward this week. But, you know, it's really smooth. The surface blemishes are none to just minimal. Yeah, it's looking really nice. Yeah. Really pretty. Yeah. And, you know, this looks like clear quartz, but it's a little frostier. And a lot of these have hematite inclusions in them. So this is more like hematoid opal. And so it's been interesting to see the variations in this batch of rough to see how it's coming out. Anyway, I'm going to give this a really good wash, and then I will move this into medium grit. Okay, here is my favorite time. After a rock has been in course for the first week, when you get to really see how it's going to look, because the whole rough exterior has been shed and you can see the colors and the patterns underneath. It's my very favorite stage. And this, as I said, is Lake Superior agate. And it does tend to have that kind of warm orange, brown orange color to it. And, oh, look at that one. Nice. Nice. This is really lovely. Now it's going to need, of course, a lot more time in course, because a lot of this does have some exterior that needs to be shaped a little more. But, ooh, pretty. What lovely. Lovely. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. All right. Well, I am going to get this back in the barrel with more coarse grit, and we'll take a look at it again next week. Here is the Lapis after, it's been about 6 days in polish, but I did this in a couple of stages in the vibe. I left it in there for about 4 days, and I checked on it each day, and while it was getting a little bit more shine, I thought I could get a little bit better. But after the 4th day, I did notice that some of these were starting to undercut pretty badly. And here's another example right there. And when you have stones that undercut, especially during polish, it essentially releases little tiny bits of stone into the polish and prevents it from getting a good shine. So I removed these from the batch. I rinsed everything off really good, and I put it back in the vibe with new water, new cerium to go for a couple more days. But even after the 4 days, you can see there's a fairly decent shine on these 2 pieces that I took out early. And, you know, here is our finished batch right here. And, you know, it's got some good shine on it. And Lapis is like one of the softer stones that doesn't take a really high shine, But it is really nice because the pyrite sparkles really well. And, you know, just as comparison, I took out some pieces of lapis that I purchased that were tumbled for my bracelet sets. And you can see here that while they do have a shine, the surface isn't super smooth because, again, undercutting. And this is probably the shiniest one that I got. So while they do get shiny, it's not a super, super shiny. But like, let's see, like this one here, you can tell that these white parts started to wear away faster than the blue. And what you can't see in here is that those white parts are shimmery like quartz. I can't seem to get it here on the camera, but nice shine. And then one last thing to note. So here's one of the pieces, and it's got an okay bit of shine on it. But I decided to experiment with a little bit of hand polishing, and boo! This other side got a lot more polish on it. And so what you do for this is you take a cloth for buffing. Let me get it around the... Take a cloth for buffing. You wet it down a little bit, and you put some of your polish. So this is the cerium oxide on it. And then you just start to polish it. And the shine that I just showed you was after 5 minutes. 5 minutes of doing this. I set a timer just so I could see what 5 minutes would do. And you just keep on doing that for 5 minutes and wash it. And it does get shinier. Since lapis is one of these stones that the rough is a little bit more expensive. And so if you want just that little bit of extra shine and shimmer on the surface, I do recommend taking some of your best pieces. Like, I'll probably do it to this one too. And do a hand polish so that they've just got that extra little bit on them. But these pieces... So yeah, that is hand polishing if you're interested in trying that. But I got some good pieces here in this batch. Lots of nice shimmery pyrite. And I do highly recommend trying to tumble lapis. It's challenging for sure because you've got 3 different minerals in here that are affecting your slurry and the chemical reaction in there. And it really is hard to get a smooth surface. Sorry, I've just put cerium polish on that, so it's not shiny anymore. But it is hard to get a smooth surface on it, but you can get some really, really pretty end results with this too. So thanks so much for joining me again this week to see what I'm up to and the progress of my tumbling projects. And, you know, even though almost everything is in coarse right now, that's when you're gonna see the more significant changes. When something moves from coarse to medium fine and extra fine, it's just gonna be a little bit smoother on the surface every single time. So coarse is really the more exciting time as you get to see it change and shape and become what it's going to look like at the end. So, but we did have something move on to medium, and lapis, lapis has been really exciting. I loved tumbling lapis, and I highly recommend that you try it. So I hope everybody is feeling safe and secure and not going too stir crazy. And I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.